Hi, this is Jalen Megahead, my legal warrior. Welcome to my legal warriors segment on just random issues that are affecting each and every one of us, specifically the coronavirus and how it's affecting our current family law system. So today's segment is going to be about dismissing a temporary restraining order, whether you should or shouldn't do it during this coronavirus time, because the courthouses are in fact shut down. They're expected to remain shut down, but the court has provided notice that it's going to stay closed only through April 3rd. We'll see what happens a week from now. So today is Tuesday, March 24, 2020. So perhaps, by next week or the week after that the courts will be in fact open and you can not only file this form, but other forms and other requests that you would need from the court that you deem to be urgent. So for the purposes of this video, this only applies if you are wanting to terminate the restraining order, a temporary restraining order, and you also have to be the person that's protected on the restraining order. So if you're the restrained party and you're trying to dismiss the restraining order without actually talking to the other party, which is what we define as the protected party, the court's not going to accept it or grant it. So you can only file this if you are the moving party, the person that actually filed the restraining order against the other person. That's the only time that you can go ahead and use this form that I'm going to show you in a second. So the other reason why you should use this form is if you and the other party, in fact, no longer need this restraining order, you and the other party are on the same page, and there is not much more that is required because the temporary restraining order did its trick and the other person's willing to leave you alone. It's been close to 3 weeks, or it's been 4 weeks because your restraining order hearing was postponed to a later date, and you just don't need this protection anymore. And in that case, yeah, go ahead and use this form. But this is all at your own discretion and what you think is best for your individual circumstance, because this is all about your safety. And if you're on the other side of this, where you're the person that is being restrained from contacting the other party, then you can't use this form. And whether you believe that the information that was alleged or written in the documents that you received was correct or wrong, the only time you're able to actually address that with the court is with the court when you actually are in front of a judge. Before then, you can't address it. Like I said, the courthouses are closed until essentially further loan notice. So if you are ready to take a look at this form because you want to know how to terminate the restraining order, then this is the form that you use. Ex parte requests an order to terminate domestic violence temporary restraining order. So this is the form that you would go ahead and use in order for the court to terminate your restraining order. I think at this particular time, because it is a temporary restraining order and the courts are only dealing with temporary restraining orders, they might actually allow you to file this. So you could mail it in or drop it off at the courthouse, because it does deal with the temporary restraining order. But there is a possibility that the court might not deem this as an emergency or a necessity because you're not filing for a temporary restraining order. So you could try and see what the court might do and respond to that. There's actually some information with the court where you can go ahead and email the family law department and, you know, give them your case number and your name and what you're wanting to do, and see if they can go ahead and accept that form, as opposed to you just waiting until your next, you know, hearing date. So this is the form again that you can use to terminate the domestic violence restraining order. And if you want to know whether you should or shouldn't do it, I can only give you one tip, since this is not essentially, you know, legal advice. But my only tip is if you feel coerced or this doesn't feel right in your gut, and you're not doing this willingly, then maybe you shouldn't complete this form. But it's a case-by-case basis. Do what's best in your individual case. And we hope that you found this video helpful. Please share it. You never know who is struggling with a temporary restraining order and just feels lost and doesn't know what to necessarily do and how to go about the next step now that they've received a temporary restraining order. So if you could help us spread this information, and that would be absolutely amazing. We would be very grateful, and we hope that each and every one of you is safe and well and has a good Tuesday. The recording of this video is March 24, 2020. So until next time, have a good day. Bye, warriors.